Best game of the year. Welcome back to the Steeler Wade Show. My name is Jake Wade, and we're coming from Southwest Michigan. Sorry, I'm looking like a slop dick, but I tried to get my Palomalo jersey over all this, and it wasn't going to work in my state. And it's too cold to wear a ball cap. But I did find my Steeler cap, so wait for the next episode. Folks, please consider pressing like. Coming to you, like I said, it's cold. I mean, it's not that cold. It's like, right now, currently, it's 24 degrees, which isn't like cold, but it's like break-in cold. You know, so we've had like our little delicate fontanelles all fall. We've had a very lovely fall here in Southwest Michigan. And so it's like 24, 25 degrees. And worked it today down in Warsaw. It's a couple degrees cooler down there. You know, broke out the bibs. Whatever. Hey! Steeler Nation! Wow. I want to know, please. I love your comments. Please tell me what was the thing that happened that you went, whoa, wait. No, I have to imagine, and for good rights, that pass to Pat in the middle, you know, a lot of Steeler Nations they're all coming out, you know, like there's like a big to Canada from, you know, this or that, Faulkner, Sully, but I don't care about all that. I do love the drama. But for me, personally, it was, and I have got to figure out a way, a smooth talking my bride into or something, and let me buy that all 22, because I want to watch that game again so bad, you know. But there was a play, and I think it might have been Pickens on the left. It was a real simple play. Pickens, I think it was Pickens. It was the receiver on the left. I'm almost positive it wasn't Tay. And he was being grabbed. And Pickett threw there. And that, when I saw that, that was a maturity that, like I've said it in past podcasts, one of the greatest things that Ben could do was pin a defensive back to where he's going to get a penalty. The only person better at that was Flacco. It was like Ben watched the great Flacco. And I'm not a Flacco lover. Fuck him. He did really good in the playoffs that one year. But these two guys were like the two best quarterbacks for pinching defensive backs. And when I saw that play off to the left, it was just a simple penalty. But I believe that Kenny caused that, and I was proud of him. I was really, really proud of him. You know, they talked about earlier about Chase was saying, hey, watch the show. JPJ kind of downplayed it, and he said, yeah, he's right. You know, get ready to watch the show. Now, you have got to say that I know the ball is not round and it does bounce in crooked ways. And all hats off to Chase for catching 2 out of 2 deflected balls. That man, as young as he is, definitely have to be considered in the top 6 of the entire league. Have to. And those 2 catches even stamp on top of that. And JPJ pretty much stopped him. You know, there was a thing on another podcast that I listened to talking about what's the argument against JPJ getting Defensive Rookie Player of the Year. If you guys have some ideas or something I can talk about, as far as that goes, what's the argument against him? I need to get into that because I guess it's got to be a simple way, right? Just pick out the highest drafted guys from the first 3 rounds. But I think it was pretty nice. The offense, it was great. There's so many. It just felt nice. Boswell, you will. I hope that every single show that I do, I praise you. I really do. And I know that you are probably compared to Tucker, but I am so grateful. And I swear, if you go all year long, I know you listen. I have so many listeners. But Bozzy, thank you so much. If you go all year and only have that one miss from that bullshit rain day, being pushed back 5, oh! But he did the Pickens wave. I mean, I'm looking forward to more interviews with him. I know you are too. He just seems like just such a cool guy. You don't get very many things from the kickers and shit like that because the things that I kind of learned is that when the practices happen and things like that, their scheduling of families or rooms, the kickers' rooms, is done earlier, than the other teams. So the other media is trying to get, all this other stuff. So by the time they get back into the locker room to get this or that, Boz is gone, Harvin's gone. It's just the way it is, And, but hats off to him. Money, 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 money. My wife gets so upset with me because I got to go through this ritual every single time. And I'm not going to go through it right now. I'm going to save it. But me and Boz, thank you, Boswell. Thank you. I've been so excited about this group. And I've had these different ideas about merchandise. I don't want to make any money off of it. Basically, I just want to make like a hoodie or a sweater or a long sleeve tee that I can trade off to somebody cool and get something back, or give away. You know what I mean? I like, give away. I mean, this money is dick, But I have been having this idea of North Killers. And I want to make it like the 4 like Broderick Jones on this game, he cut a lot of AFC North teeth. You know what I mean? No. He had mistakes. And super cool. It's 100% cool. You know what I mean? You ain't pussyfooting out there. He made a mistake here by Manga. But did you see him with Najee? Huh? That's Steeler Nation right there. Broderick Jones holding up Steeler Nation with Najee Harris just going, nah. You felt it. It was great. It was awesome. JPJ did an amazing job with Chase. He, like I said, top 6. And if you could argue a good argument against that, get a couple of your friends and we'll take it to the yard. Whatever. I don't know that much, so you probably win. But he is an amazing guy. A 100% AFC North guy. Totally. He is. He is. You have got to give him that. He ain't a dickhead, but he's, and he shows up. And there was this one play during the game, and I think it might have been everything shit the bed, and the quarterback ends up running off to the right for 3 or 4 yards, right? The Bengals. And that's another reason why I got to get this all 22 shit, you know? The camera pans to where the quarterback's running this way, and you see Keanu Benton. And he's got like 3 dudes on him. 3. I know what I saw. This quarterback or running back, whatever, was running back for something soft. And it was just a very small camera. If you all have all 22 or can bootleg me some shit, you know what I'm talking about? But it was 3 motherfuckers were on Benton in the middle of the field, just holding Benton while this play happened. We got some North killers. And then that fucking leopard, Nick Herbig, you know, like the other podcasts I've been talking about, like when I talked about with against the Browns, that big guy that they drafted last year on the right. And I was thinking, oh, speed. You know, I was thinking, like, what if we had Herbig? Because my alternative motive would be to I want to see TJ floating in and out, in and out, in and out. You know what I mean? A little behind Montrevious, a little bit behind Benton, a little behind Larry. You know? Like this is Cam. You know what I mean? Just floating. When I saw that frigging attack, it was an attack by Nick Herbig. Folks, you were all like, fuck, whoa! I mean, he just got his nuts going, I'm coming! You know? That was... So, looking back, keep these gods that we have on the ends when we start floating Nick around. I'm thinking about next season, like, if Austin can really come up with some exotic shit using 3 outside linebackers and, not at the same time necessarily, but a rotation of 3 safeties, there's something out there, folks. You know? And I mean, I appreciate the folks that have listened to this show. And if you have, for the last 3-4 weeks, and I don't put out a lot of programs, but I have been so excited from the first moment I heard that Thompson was making the roster. And when it happened, all the hype was on Carpenter. And I'm not taking anything away from him. But I was like sick in love with him in the preseason, you know, and then I hear it's going to happen. You know what I mean? And what a game. Hats off to him. Hats off to Trenton Thompson, dude. Man, that's some Steelers shit, dude. That is some street-ass Steelers shit. You know? I love Terrell Edmonds. And now I'm looking at this guy going, what could happen in a year with him being guided by Minka? What could happen, you know, in the next year, 18 months, you know what I mean? I don't know. I told you at the very beginning, this guy is a Steeler. He hits like a Steeler. He looks like a Steeler. He runs like a Steeler. He dives like, he hits like a Steeler. That interception was cool as shit. But the way Thompson hits, and you're going to see it, man. I'm telling you. What? I am like, I talk out of my ass all the time, right? Hey, but there's the only other person that I have ever lately that I've ever been like, fuck, it was in the draft, and it was Sam Laporta, and he's doing good. He was the one guy where I was just like, it ain't gonna happen for us, right? But it's a beautiful man. And but when Thompson made the 53 a few weeks ago, check out my podcast, whatever, dude. But I think it's just great with Jones. He's cutting his teeth. There's gonna be things happen. I would love to have me some mistakes done by Broderick in a big fat AFC North win. Hey. TJ Watt doing TJ Watt things, but there has got to be some type of praise for Austin. That play that they did when they had Sullivan running in and acting like he was going to blitz. You know what I mean? And TJ just went in. That's happened before. I don't have the All-22, but I remember that play. I don't know if it was Sullivan, but they had somebody else diving in, and they fucked them up on the line. It's happened before. It may not have been as fucking tits as that last play that we had, this last one, but they've done that before. So props to Austin. And props to Sullivan for selling it. There's some salesmanship going on there. You know what I mean? You've got to give credit to these guys. There are these intangibles, all that, but there's a spiritual, there's something to it. There's this thing that about the Steelers, And in Khan, I trust. Omar Khan, I trust. Did you see? Chase made an amazing play. But that tip, that guy was so stretched out. Walker, you know what I mean? Beautiful. 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 Steelers shit. That is Omar Khan. That football player is amazing. Yes. That is our Omar Khan. In Khan I trust. He had guy right then. This is how I played that day. Folks, I don't know. It felt pretty damn good, dude. Felt pretty good. It felt pretty freaking good. There's this talk about how, I don't know if it's to be honest with you, I imagine it is, but I can't tell you it is. But a lot of the teams that have been playing against us play in something like this, cover 2, where instead of doing their, correct me if I'm wrong, instead of doing their safeties in the traditional, they can put them like this, and it helps out their corners, their linebackers, makes everything safer, except for the middle of the field, And there would be no reason not to play that way against the Steelers because they haven't played that way. They don't throw in the middle. Why would you not double team Pickens, or why would you not double team Johnson when it doesn't matter in the middle? Now, so proud. I'm telling my daughters, I'm sitting there with my two girls and my girl behind me. You know what I mean? Ain't a bad life, boys. It's not a bad life. Sometimes it goes the other way too. And I'm barking at them, and telling them, like, they just went down the middle again in a good middle, you know? And I'm thinking, oh, well, all they had to do is just go down the middle. But then I started thinking about it. Hats off to Freiermuth and to Kenny. You know why? Because, yeah, the defense set it up to where they had to go in the middle. But you know what? They had to pull that shit off. They had to do it. They had to throw the ball. They had to catch the ball. And they had to do the things. You can't fault the Bengals. But I will praise the Steelers. They always throw this word execution out. Okay. Look, you had to play your play. And they did it. Hats off to them. They did the thing. Folks, we had 400 yards. Freiermuth had his best game. If you don't talk about like touchdowns per game with men, whatever. As far as yards, he had his best game. A lot of people, oh my God, people talk about, I may have been worried about the running game slacking or suffering if Pat was asked to do a traditional tight end role, which he was not doing well at the beginning of the season, which he was at best at the end of last year, a mediocre as far as splitting it up. Good receiver, But the Steelers, with these same ass plays, came out with 2 and 3 tight ends at the same time. So if you have Muth and you have Washington and you have Hayward doing all this weirdo shit, they still know you're going to run because Washington's on the line. So you get up there and you don't run and you throw it to Muth in the middle. I mean, I love me some tight ends. You know what I'm saying? And it was just awesome to see. Awesome to see. And there was a lot of great things to be seen in that game. But man, they just cracked their cherry. It's going to be all whack-a-mole, right? First time you get, it's all, it may be wonderful, but you get all, So now they're going to hone it in, get a little better. There's some things that you can see that can be built upon the offense. There are some things that you can see that can be proud of and refined on the defense. It's the cleats are getting a little deeper. Maybe the dirt's getting a little drier. But we're getting a little traction. And we might be, like everybody's on, we might be getting its traction at the right time. Folks, if you like what you hear, please press like. If you would like to be reminded that you like something another time and you like things, press subscribe. I appreciate it very much. Do the bells. I really like your comments. Sorry about, I'll figure it out. Get a heater or something. But coming to you from Southwest Michigan at 24 degrees. Steeler Nation, it was a great win. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And tell somebody you love them.